So hi guys, and welcome to the channel. This video is about the unboxing and the initial setup of our new Aqua Spirit Barracuda paddleboard. A couple of years ago, whilst we were on holiday, we hired a couple of paddleboards and we really enjoyed it, and we decided that we may buy one. The paddleboards that we hired were Aqua Spirit Barracudas, and we thought, well, if it's good enough for the paddleboard hire companies, then it's good enough for a couple of novices like us. Anyway, at the time they were over £300, and for whatever reason we actually never got round to ordering one. But a couple of weeks ago I saw them advertised for £189, so we went ahead and we ordered it, and this is it. I know some of you will be wondering why we didn't order a cheap SUP off the likes of Amazon or eBay, you know, the ones for £129.99p. Well, to me the cheap ones actually do look cheap. Pink with a unicorn on them, or tango orange with an ugly fish on them. Well, I'm sorry, that's just not me. I like a paddleboard to look like a paddleboard. I think this is decent quality, or at least we thought it was when we hired them a couple of years ago. I think it looks good. So let's get on with the unboxing. So we'll carefully remove the tape, just to make sure that we don't puncture anything on the inside. So there seems to be an awful lot of things in this box. Okay, what do we have here? It looks as though we have, oh, that's good, they're all in zip type packaging, which I think is quite good. We have an instruction manual, a guide, which actually looks as though it's been written in English. It hasn't been translated from Chinese, so that's good. Then we have the usual repair kit with a valve spanner in it. There's no tube of glue in there though. There's 2 patches but no tube of glue. We have the leash, which attaches to the board and then attaches to your ankle. That's handy. A phone cover. Well, it's handy if it is actually waterproof. We have the skeg. And I do believe that is a carrying handle. So, yes, I think it is a carrying handle. This one, this is the kayak seat. Apparently it has a seat to use the SUP as a kayak. So, well, that actually looks to be decent quality. It's nicely padded. It's not inflatable, but it certainly seems to be nicely padded. We'll take a good look at that once I've inflated the board. Then there is I assume that this is the changing mat. So once you take your wetsuit off, you stand on this whilst you're taking it off, you drop your wetsuit into it, and then everything parcels up and it's waterproof, and it keeps everything else in the car nice and dry. Yep, that's a good idea. Then we have the paddle, which that comes with a kayak attachment to make it into a kayak paddle. Then we have what I believe is a two-way pump, double action pump. I'll probably be inflating it with an electric pump, but we'll see how that works. The initial inflation I will do with the pump. Okay, now we have the bag, which to get rid of the box. Well, I'm quite impressed with the bag. It's made out of what appears to be a ripstop nylon type of material. All the fixings are double stitched. It doesn't look as though it's going to snap off. It looks pretty decent. It looks like a decent bag, actually. I know I had a Sevlor bag for a kayak and that was absolute rubbish, but this one appears to be decent quality. So let's unzip it, and we have the stand-up paddleboard. Right, I shall now get it inflated and put all the attachments on it, and we'll see what it looks like. So the pump looks a decent pump. It has an inflation side, it has a deflation side. It's a twin action pump, so in one position with this valve closed, it's double action. That's on the downstroke and on the upstroke, and then to get it to high pressure, it's a single action. You undo this valve here and it only works on the downstroke. I don't fully know how it works, but we shall do exactly as the instructions say. In the book it says a maximum pressure of 15 psi, but on the valve it says a recommended pressure of 13 psi, so I'll take it up to 13 psi. Well, I think that is an excellent pump. It's actually much better than the pump that comes with my SIB. I'm not saying I'd like to do that every single time. I'll definitely be using my electric pump to pump it up. But if you haven't got an electric pump, that pump that it comes with is very good. It's very efficient. Okay, let's get everything else put on the board. So let's see how the skeg fits. Fits very well. I don't think there's much chance of it actually falling out, especially if you screw it in tight enough. One thing which I have noticed, which I'm not too keen on, is that these two smaller outer skegs, they're actually fixed, which I think it'll, when you deflate it and roll it up and put it in the bag, I think they're going to make it a little bit more bulky than it should be. However, the actual main skeg is removable. So let's take this off. I'll turn it over, and then we shall get the kayak seat fitted and the paddle put together. So the paddle actually comes in 4 pieces. You have the main iSUP paddle, which is obviously in 3 sections with the slide-in handle. I'm assuming that the measurements on the side correspond to the height of the person. So we'd set it for 185 centimeters, which is 73 inches. It just clips in. appears to be quite tight. What that's like when it's wet, I really don't know. It actually doesn't appear to be a bad paddle at all. Now I'm assuming that this paddle here is for when you have the kayak on. Wrong way round. Put it the right way around. Strangely, I would have thought that they would have been offset like a proper kayak paddle, but I suppose it's not bad really. As a dual purpose paddle, it's not bad at all. Right, let's get the kayak seat on and see what that's like. Okay, let's see how good this seat actually is. I'm assuming, yeah. Right. Actually, that is very, very supportive. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with this seat. I don't know how far I could paddle with it. Maybe it might be better kneeling, but with a little bit more adjustment, I think it would give quite a lot of back support. Yeah, impressed. So let's show you all the other accessories that come with the board. You obviously have your punch repair kit. Well, when I say punch repair kit, there's two patches in there. There's actually no adhesive, and a valve spanner, a mesh bag without a clip, so I'm not too sure where that's supposed to clip to. Oh, this on the box it says that it comes with a water bottle carrier. I'm assuming that that is the water bottle carrier. It's very small, so obviously the person who it's for doesn't drink very much. A waterproof phone case, which I really don't know how waterproof that will be. The iSUP leash. Obviously this end goes on your ankle and that end is attached to the board. This is a shoulder strap for when you're carrying the board. This little thing here, I'm actually not too sure what the, oh yes I do. Yeah, these are for putting around your paddle and clipping your paddle to the board when you're carrying it. Quite useful really, yeah. Then you have a strap for when you roll the board up after it's deflated, and you can compress it so it fits into the bag. And then there's this little item which I think it's pretty neat actually. I think it's great to be included in here, and this is it's like a changing mat, so that if you've got a wetsuit on, you stand in the mat, you take your wetsuit off, everything goes into this part here, you pull this strap and it pulls it all together, so it keeps all your wet gear in one place, which I think is pretty neat. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. Overall, I'm really impressed with the quality of the board. Everything seems to be finished off very well. All the seams are glued down properly. Oh, one thing which I've not shown you, and it's definitely different to the board that that we hired a couple of years ago, is these straps here. They used to be bungee cords. Now it's a bungee strap, which has an adjustment on it, which means that you can strap things down very well. I'm impressed with that. I'm impressed with the EVA covering, which goes from the very front to the very back. Oh, another little bit here is this as I was saying, this kick strip at the back, I'll probably never use it, because what it's actually for is that if you're a bit more experienced, you can move down to the back of the board, you put a little bit of weight on here, and it means that you can turn the board in the water much easier. I don't think I'll ever be good enough to use it, but you know, for a beginner's board, I think it's a good board. I really do. So I'll now deflate it and pack it into the bag and see how well everything fits in. So this is the board now fully deflated, rolled up with its strap. If you're wondering what these two foam things are, I've put them back on so that it covers the actual skegs. As I say, that's the one part which I'm not very keen on. It has internal straps so that you can keep the board in place. I wish the pump would have come with its own bag, just to make things just that little bit neater. Then we can just slot all the other bits just inside. It's as I say, it's a decent sized bag. They certainly haven't skimped on the bag. You'd definitely be able to get your wetsuit in here as well. And it appears to be pretty good quality. I don't know what the overall package weighs. I would have thought about 16 kilos. In fact, I think I'll weigh it so that you actually know what it does weigh. But overall, the Aqua Spirit Barracuda, yes, it is a little bit more expensive than the cheap ones off Amazon, but I think it's well worth it. I think it's good quality board. It looks good. It doesn't look like a nasty cheap board. The bag appears to be very good quality. I like the waist strap. Everything about it is good quality. It seems to me to be very well made. So thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked it, please subscribe. If you have any questions at all, then just ask in the comments.